Hey Valley Kids, welcome to lesson 3.3b, Solve Multiplication Equations. Standard lesson once again. This is the fourth lesson in the series of solving equations. You got review here. We've got a video with pause problems, tickets to the show. We're going to do 1 through 4 practice problems, then a 4 blocker. And then we're going to move through this pretty quickly. You will be doing 1 through 24 for an independent study. The negatives will be optional on that assignment, and it's certainly a calculator assignment as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our problems for the day, our review problems. Go ahead and pause the video and take a maximum of 5 minutes to work on these. Alrighty, here you go. Those divide by 14, and you've got m equals 4. That's going to be our lesson for today. And we've got 4.3 going into 22.79. You got to move that decimal once. You end up with an answer of 5.3 as your quotient. 7 times the number decreased by 10 is 63. That's 7n minus 10 equals 63. The sum of a number p and 4 squared. There's the sum of the number p and 4 in parentheses. Square the whole thing. Quotient of a number in 7 is 5. That would be m divided by 7 is 5. 5 times the sum of a number and 2. So that's 5 times the sum of a number and 2. You are set. You are ready for the video. All right, good luck. See you in a bit. Hey Valley Middle, welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be working on solving multiplication equations. Before we do that, let's take a look at our trivia question. It's a riddle today. This is something you touch every day, and 95% of the people in the world have no idea what it's called. What is it? We'll be back to the answer to that question tonight after our instruction. Tonight officially our target is I can solve multiplication equations using the inverse operation. So let's do this thing. Kevin burns 9 calories per minute riding his bike. On Saturday he burned 558 calories riding. Write and solve an equation to find out how many minutes he rode on Saturday. Use the inverse operation to isolate the variable. I know this sounds complicated, but we've been through this before. You know what we're going to do. We're going to write the equation. Here we go. The 558 minutes, or calories total, is equal to 9 calories times some number of minutes, right? Well, this is a multiplication situation, right? 9 times m. How do you solve multiplication? What's the opposite? What's the inverse? Division, of course. How do you get the m by itself? You got to get rid of the 9. So the way we get rid of multiply by 9 is we divide by 9. So when we do that, we can isolate that variable. 9 divided by 9 is just going to leave you m. 558 divided by 9 gives you 62. 62 equals m. 62 minutes. And we can check it real quick. We can take that 558 and go, does it equal 9 times 62? And it sure does. And we have just completed our first multiplication equation. Let's take a look at just a review of some must-know words. Again, a multiplication equation is just going to be an equation where multiplication is the operation. Here we go. We've got 2x. That's 2 times x. Here's another one. 4t equals 20. Okay, I know it's written backwards, but we can do that. We've done that. Again, we isolate this. We got to get rid of this 4 to get t isolated. So we divide both sides by 4. Divide this side by 4. 4 divided by 4 is going to give us 1t or just t. 20 divided by 4 is going to give us 5. So the rule is that in a nutshell, you can, as long as you multiply or divide both numbers by the same thing, both sides by the same thing, you can do that as long as that number is not 0. And so that's why it talks about that up here. I could multiply this number by 10 if I wanted to, as long as I multiplied this by 10. Multiplying by 10 doesn't do us any good in isolating. What does us good in isolating is we divide this 4 times t. If we divide the 4 by 4, so then we can get this down to a single t by isolating it. But if we divide this side by 4, we have to divide this side by 4. Here's a look at those inverse operations. This is the last one. We've done them all. We've done subtraction equations, addition equations, division equations. Today it's multiplication equations. We solve them. The inverse operation of division. Let's take a look at a couple, and then I'll have you do a couple. We got 8y equals 24. How do we get y by itself? How do we isolate it? Well, we get rid of 8 times y by dividing it both sides by 8. When you do that, whoops, the 8's cross off because 8 divided by 8 is just 1, or just plain y. And 24 divided by 8 is 3. You can go ahead and pop that into the calculator and see if it makes sense. 8 times 3 is equal to 24. Good job, you're my hero. Well, next to Mr. Dudley. Okay, well, I think I'm everybody's hero. It's a cross I've had to bear my entire life. All right, solve this one here. We have 6z equals 48. Well, how are we going to get z by itself? We have to undo the 6 times z. We undo that multiplication by division. And when we do that, these 6's will cross off. We have 48 divided by 6, z equals 8. This is a nice, clean little operation. Real simple. Oh, shucks, I knew I should have shared my pet rock with Mrs. Carruthers. This is Mr. Persons when he was a kid. He might be your Minnesota Studies teachers. If he is, that's unfortunate, but I think after a couple of years of therapy, you're going to be just fine. You can always throw it in and check it too. 6z, well, z equals 8. 6 times 8 equals 48, and you're off to the races. All right, here are a couple of YouTube problems. Go ahead and, you try problems. Go ahead and do this. Pause the video and give it a shot. All right, divide both sides by 3. And let's see, it's on there somewhere. There we go, the 3's cross off. You got d equals 12. Pop it in, 3 times 12 equals 36. Tommy want Winnie! I don't know why I love that picture so much. I just do. Ask your dad. He'll know what movie that's from. Solve this multiplication equation. Go ahead and give this a shot. Pause the video. Well, to get k by itself, we divide by 8. We do that. Let's see if I can get it. There it is. They cross out. You got k on this side, and you got 9 on this side. Good job. I don't know why that guy, he wouldn't have a low voice. He'd be more of a, good job. Weird. I know. What can I say? Pop it in and check it. 8 times 9 equals 72. Nice, clean, compact information. This is exactly the way you have to do it. See how I've got the equal signs lined up? We'd like to do that as well. Alrighty. Let's see. I think we are just ready for the ticket to the show. Yep. Here we go. 2 problems today. Just copy those down, and it'll give you the answer to the trivia question. Okay, the answer to the trivia question. What is something you touch every day and 95% of the people in the world have no idea what it is? See if you can guess. That little thing on the end of your shoelaces? Aglets. It's kind of a cool thing. Just go press your parents and say, hey, can I need some new shoestrings? I broke my aglets. They'll be like, what? Is that a bone in your foot? Nah, it's that little plastic thing on the end of the shoelace. All right, thanks for listening. You're awesome. Quite frankly, so am I. Have a good day. These are a little bit simpler, aren't they? Yeah, these are easier than the division ones. That's why I thought we'd put the division ones first and save an easier one to end on. All right. You've got a multiplication equation. That's simply a multiplication or an equation with a multiplication in the middle, like 2x equals 8. In this case, it's 8y equals 24. So we have to write the equation. We've got to divide by 8 to get both of them to get that y isolated by itself. So you divide both sides by 8. Y equals 3. 8 divided by 8 is 1y, or just plain y. That's how you get the y isolated. Let's take a look at a few problems here. 6n equals 30. And I know you can say, it's 5. And I can say, I don't care. Can you do the isolation process? Divide both sides by 6. Oops, I guess I have to slide this guy off. I can't get this. There we go. Divide both sides by 6. Those 6's cross off. You got n equals 5. How about this one? 45 equals 9n. Go ahead and write her down and try. Okay. 45 divided by 9. These guys over here. Sorry about that. I got some pop-ups happening here. These guys here cross off somewhere. There we go. The 9's divide. You've got 5 equals n once again. This one over here, 16n equals 48. This one's I decided to put the railroad tracks in because I know some of you have been doing that, and that's fine. Divide both sides by 16. 16's cross off, n equals 3. Try this one. First decimal, but you can use calculator. Okay. Got to divide both sides by 2.1. Again, that's what you have to do to get n by itself. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get that one. Sorry. It's there. Oh, there it goes. You end up with n equals 4. All right. Time for you to try 4 by yourself. Here's a 4 blocker. Yeah, I threw a challenge one in. This is actually a 2-step equation, and it's our next target. See how you do on this one. Take a guess at how you're going to solve it. See if your answer makes sense. Okay, I'll let you check your work for the first 3, and I'll go over that last one when you're ready. Okay, so we've got this one here. You might be thinking, well, order of operations says you have to do multiplication first. We're undoing the order of operations. Therefore, we have to subtract the 1 first from both sides. So when you subtract 1 from both sides, these ones cross off. You end up with 32 equals 4y. Now it's a 1-step multiplication equation. You have to divide both sides by 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. And then just pop it in to see if it works. 33 equals 4 times 8, 32, plus 1, 33. Very good. All right. Let's keep rolling here. Here's your assignment. Have you work 1 through 24 on these problems right here. I can make them a little bit bigger in case you're going to copy off the screen. I would absolutely use the worksheet on this one here. There's plenty of time. Make sure that you show the cross out on all of these. Sorry, the cross out always disappears on mine. 1 through 12. 12 through 24. Again, ones with negative numbers, you could skip it or try it. You have a calculator that'll do the negative numbers. These ones with decimals, you can do it. You can do it. Okay. Here's the answers. 1 through 18. You can see 24. All right. Sounds good. Those of you who want a little bit further, a little more enrichment, I've got this too. Some word problems. Make these a little bit smaller. Look at these 4 word problems. Writing an equation and then trying to solve it. Some more too. You're going to be writing equations and then solving. And again, the word problems, they're all extra credit. I'm sorry, word problems are not extra credit. Word problems are all just challenge enrichment problems you can do. Okay? All right, that finished up. Make sure you get those all loaded up. Sorry, I forgot to put that. I had that challenge down here, but I do. I can just add that right now. Also have that challenge, and again, that's optional too. Challenge word problems. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a good lesson. Good luck on the quiz.